Hello Peter, this is my second and final video. The first one sank without trace, like a lead balloon. My friends kindly said they thought that was because I had a face that was perfect for radio. However, be that as it may, I want to do two things with this. The first is to congratulate you, because obviously you've struck a chord with people everywhere, and I think that's quite brilliant, so well done. The second thing I'd like to do, if I may, is to hang on to your coattails and tell a little anecdote of my own, which you may well remember, and a lot of our young viewers won't, because it relates to the day after the Kennedy assassination. I remember well, as you probably do, when the assassination took place, there were shouts and screams coming from my flatmates in the adjacent room, and I went rushing through, just in time, of course, to see the motorcade and all those dreadful scenes. So it was a pretty dreadful time, and I think a lot of our friends in the US probably didn't realise, but we were as stunned in Britain as they were in the US at this dreadful thing happening. Anyway, the next day, I switched on the radio to see what the repercussions were, and I happened to get on to the end of Alistair Cooke's letter from America. Now, a lot of you will know and a lot of you won't, but that was a regular radio newsletter sent by Alistair Cooke, sort of reporting the things that were happening in the States and bringing us Brits up to date with the situation and things that were happening. So obviously, on the day after the assassination, his letter was obviously full of these things. Now, the thing that caught me most, though, was that the way he ended his letter with just a few lines of poetry, and those few lines have stayed with me all this time, and that's what I wanted to share with you. The lines used were those by Dylan Thomas that he wrote for his dying father. And I've got them down here, and I'd just like to share them with you. It's called "Do Not Go Gentle Into That Good Night." Do not go gentle into that good night. Old age should burn and rave at close of day. Rage, rage against the dying of the light. Though wise men at their end know dark is right, because their words had forked no lightning, they do not go gentle into that good night. Wild men who caught and sang the sun in flight, and learned too late they grieved it on its way, do not go gentle into that good night. Grave men near death who see with blinding sight, blind eyes could blaze like meteors and be gay, rage, rage against the dying of the light. And you, my father, there on the sad height, curse, bless me now with your fierce tears, I pray. Do not go gentle into that good night. Rage, rage against the dying of the light. Now, it seems to me that note of anger was very appropriate. It was certainly something that I felt very strongly. And there's no doubt it would be equally suitable for the assassination of Martin Luther King, and indeed for the Twin Towers and 9/11. But in all conscience, I have to say to you that we've got to extend it to all innocent people that were murdered. And I mean in Iraq, in the Middle East, in all countries, regardless of colour or creed. But I do place emphasis on the word innocent, because not everyone was innocent or is innocent. But nevertheless, when you think that a large number of them are children, women and children, I think the final lines really do apply to them too. Do not go gentle into that good night. Rage, rage against the dying of the light.